How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Spencer, and welcome back to Advice, the show without a name. Self-control is just that. Controlling yourself. Really deep analysis from me there. Maybe I should just stop the video. But it's all about holding yourself back. That's something that's pretty hard to do, and trust me, I've had my fair share. When I was a kid and going into my late teenage years, I had to deal with weight a whole lot. I certainly wasn't the skinniest guy in the world, but I wasn't the heaviest. It was a weird middle ground, but every year I found myself leaning more and more into the bad area. I didn't really care about my body. I had no self-control, and I just made food and ate whenever I wanted, even when I wasn't hungry. It wasn't until quarantine started that I kinda got my stuff together. I think you kinda know the word I would say instead, but I was at the worst I've ever been, hovering just below 200 pounds. I hated that. I hated that for the longest time, but I couldn't stop myself. It all came together when I just kind of stopped. I made a commitment to myself that I would fix who I was. It's easier to face yourself when you're the only person who sees you every single day, when you're stuck inside day in and day out. I would make myself busy to make my mind think about something else. I got outside more than I ever did before. I fixed that. Looking back, it's hard to recognize that version of me in that in-between period, let alone who I was in high school. And during high school was when I had my first few run-ins with alcohol. I wanted the pain to go away, and I thought it would help. You know, I don't remember high school too well, but I do remember indulging myself in the devil's nectar, as some would like to call it. It was hard to control myself because it numbed how I was feeling with my face off against depression. But you're not you, or you're not in control of how you act. And as someone who's taken back control of their life, that was probably the worst mistake I've ever done. Now, times have changed. I'm above that age, so I really do have access to really anything I want. But it's not like I'm throwing myself in there every weekend or every Thursday because college decided 80 years ago that that would be the party day. I just have it sometimes. Just a beer or two. My body can actually take it now, and that little doesn't affect you the way it did earlier on. It's important to hold self-control over how you feel. You know, you can't just take things that are going to harm you, even if it makes you feel better. It doesn't make the pain go away. It only kicks the can down the road until you have to face it again. Just know that sometimes self-control is all about taking control. You have to seize your life and accept what's happening to you regardless of how awful it may seem at the time. And sometimes we're quick to anger, and sometimes it's really hard not to get angry at something. I had to drive back home on a highway without any powered steering. You're not just calm in that situation. That just doesn't happen. I was sulking in my bed for 2 hours trying to fall asleep. But that's something I couldn't really control. If that makes any sense. Maybe I didn't have to go out that day. Maybe not. But the car was just depreciating. I can't solve that. You can't solve that. The only thing that happens is time takes control. And, well, you just kind of have to deal with that. And nobody likes dealing with that because time sucks. Life is going to do everything it can to stand in your way. That's the whole point of adversity at the end of the day. It's hard not to blame yourself. Sometimes it's easier to take the urge to just simply say, I want to do that. Eat another chip, drink another beer, get angry at something you don't even understand what's going on. Because I don't think any of you understand car mechanics. It's always important to have a calm attitude about the world because nobody likes the world, but yet here we all are. We all live in it. So you might as well come to understand it than not do anything about it. Because when you do nothing, that's where temptation comes in and the reason to grab. But maybe take a second look at it, because maybe you'll figure out that it wasn't good for you, or it really just wasn't worth it. And I don't think anybody could blame you there. So that's where I'm going to call for today. What struggle have you faced that all you needed was some control over yourself? What was the outcome, and are you happy about it? If you feel like I missed anything, please put it below. And if you want your questions answered, please email me at koboldtechsadvice@gmail.com for a nameless read. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.